So I'm making this video to show what our auction items are going to be on at the raffle at RockaDock in this year, 2021. I'm putting together a kit. Some of the stuff I've bought, some of the stuff I've made, but everything's not going to be able to be laid out on the table. Two of the things I made were a hammock and tarp, so they're not going to be able to be displayed and everything. So I just want to show everybody this kit. So if you're going to be at RockaDock, you know who Trip Smith is and what his kind of purpose is behind his YouTube channel and everything. But for the people that are just stumbling across this video, Trip Smith, he has a YouTube channel. You just Google, just go look at YouTube and look up Trip Smith and you'll find him. And his website is tripsmith.live. If you go on there, you can find out a little bit more about him, and also his links to different social medias and stuff. His whole purpose is to try to inspire people to get outside, to get out there, and enjoy life and everything. You know that his logo is a O with a T in it, standing for out there. And but that's his whole purpose, is to inspire people to get out there. And one of the things he does is this event called RockaDock and we have a raffle on Saturday night, and this is my items as MCN hammocks that we're donating for the raffle. So I'm gonna lay the things out here one at a time and show you, and then I'll set up the tarp and the hammock and show you those things. And I almost forgot an important part before I lay these things out. So in the past, we've built a hammock for a raffle, and last year whoever won, they got to design their own custom hammock, and we built it for them. This year, in keeping up with Trip's out there message, I'm building a kit, a basic kit to start out people. Like maybe there's somebody that doesn't camp but wants to, and just the expense of having to buy everything, it might be preventing them to do that. And so this is just a basic kit to get somebody started. And also maybe I understand everybody that is going to be at the raffle, they're already camping, but maybe you're car camping or RV camping or whatever, and you'd like to get out there on some bigger adventures, do some kayak camping or backpacking and all that kind of stuff. But in order to do that, you're going to have to change out all your gear. And maybe you got one of those big 27-man tents that weighs 142 pounds, and you got a Coleman 18 burner stove and all that kind of stuff. And so to have to switch out a lot of that gear to go out on those bigger adventures, that can be kind of difficult for anybody. So so this kit, is designed for them too. And I hope that whoever wins it, we will not be at the raffle Saturday night. We're going to be camping at RockaDock from Monday through Friday morning. So unfortunately I won't be there Saturday for the raffle. But I hope that whoever wins it, if you get a ticket for this to try to win it, maybe just one item out of it or whatever, in keeping with Trip's message of getting out there and our trying to help people to get out there by putting this kit together, if you only want one or two things of it, I hope that you donate it to somebody that could use it to help them get out there, instead of just having it sitting in a box or in your closet for 5 years or whatever. I hope you just kind of keep that spirit, that we're trying to help somebody out. Yeah, and just if you're only wanting one or two things out of here, get those things, and please pass on the rest of it to somebody that can use it. Alright, so now I'm going to get this stuff laid out and show you. Okay, so the first thing I got is this Knock, C-N-O-C. It's a Knock 3-liter water bag and a Sawyer mini water filter. This if you're not aware, this Sawyer filter will screw right onto the Knock bag, so you could use this as a dirty water bag, and then filter your water through here into your clean drinking water container. And this filter will also go onto a smart water bottle. You could buy it at Smart Water at any gas station or anywhere. But it's got the same threads that'll screw onto here. So this is one item. The 3-liter knock water bag and a Sawyer water filter. And this water filter has also got a syringe for cleaning. It's also got a dirty water bag in there. They're not the best in the world. And a few other little things in there. So there's that. This little collapsible cup. I don't remember how many quarts or ounces or whatever. But it's also got a measuring cup in there. So you could drink out of it, or you could use it like when you're fixing dinner, or maybe you're boiling water for your dinner and you gotta have a certain amount of ounces of water or whatever. This has got a measuring things on the inside of it. So collapsible water cup. And this stuff here is it's not the top of the line stuff. I'm working on a budget too, and I'm just trying to get somebody to get out the basic stuff to get out there, and then, you know, from there they can go on and start switching stuff out. So I got this spork. It's got a spoon and a fork. They're two separate things, and there's also a knife in there. They kind of lock in together into one piece, but it's got a knife, spoon, fork, and everything, so that goes with it. Got this cook set. This box, we had this shipped to us, and the box is all damaged. I didn't do that. This is already like that. So in picking out a cook set, it's hard when you're just trying to find a generic thing that most people would like. I don't use a skillet much, and some people do. So I wanted to get something that kind of has I use a bowl more for cooking than I do a skillet. Wanted to get something that could kind of work for no matter what kind of food you cook or whatever. So we settled on this, and it's got your skillet, got the little handles fold out and fold together, so you got your skillet, and got a lid for your bowl. This here is a spoon. The handle folds out and locks. Spoon, knife, and fork all in there. There might be something else in there. Oh, just a carabiner. Spoon, knife, and fork in here. When I bought the spork, I didn't know the cook set I was going to get had stuff in there, so you got a bonus. You know, loofah for cleaning your pots. I've never used one of them for cleaning, but I don't know. The spatula, wooden spatula, I kind of like that. I told my wife I think I might find an old wooden spoon or something and cut it down. I kind of like that. Cup, I guess this is for dipping stuff out. And then it's got two bowls. It's also got a stove. And this comes apart. At first I thought it was kind of loose and everything, but I noticed there's on this side there's a little hole and a little pin, and if you lock that in, then it locks everything in place. And then these also fold out so you could stable, you know, so it's more stable on a bigger pot. And then it all folds back like that. This turns down. It's got a little flint to light the thing. A lot of these, especially the cheaper ones, I would always carry a lighter just in case this thing goes out. And then for that, I've got a stove to put on here. I'm not going to put it on there and open it, but got you a stove for that. So that's that. Now I got to figure out how to get all that back in there again. And then this is the last thing that I bought. The rest of the stuff I made, but this is pretty cool. So I did not make this. Like I said, I bought this. It's a dry bag from Hilltop Pack. Let me see if you can see the logo on there. Yeah, right there. Hilltop Packs. So this is a dry bag. It's Dyneema. If you're not familiar with Dyneema, Dyneema is a very durable and very, very waterproof material. This stuff makes excellent tarps and everything, but it's so expensive. I mean, any tarp made out of this stuff is going to be over $300. But it's a really great material. So they made this dry bag, they taped up the seams on the inside and everything. And then I got with Trip, and I'm going to get back up here and make sure you can see it. I got with Trip and asked him if I could print out or have his logo on there. And it's on both sides. So this is a pretty big dry bag. So Hilltop Packs does a lot of work with Dyneema, and then they print. And if you're not aware of them, I would definitely check out Hilltop Packs. They're on Instagram. Their website's hilltoppacks.com. They do some really cool stuff on stuff like this. But this dry bag, like I said, my whole idea behind this raffle item was to, you know, in the spirit of Trip, trying to get people out there and enjoying life and everything. So this bag has his logo on it. This is the only one in the world. Even Trip doesn't have one of these. It's the only one in the world. And like I said, they taped the seams on the inside and everything, so it should be a pretty nice dry bag. And when you win it, show it to Trip, because you make him jealous. Okay, so that's all I got for this stuff here. I'm gonna put this away, and then I'm gonna set up the hammock and the tarp. Okay, so this is the hammock. It's a single layer Hyper D hammock. It's pretty small and squishes down quite a bit. It's got cinch buckles, green on one end and gray on the other end, and it comes with a pair of black straps that are rated at 1,500 pounds. So I'll get this thing set up and show you what it looks like. Okay, so like most of our hammocks, it has a double-ended stuff sack, so you can just open up one end, leave the stuff sack attached, and just pull out the hammock from the other end. Okay, so this is it. There's nothing fancy. It's got no gadgets and gizmos or zippered bug net or anything like that. It's just a nice, comfortable hammock. I prefer to sleep in netless hammocks and just have a bug net that wraps around completely 360 degrees around the hammock. And I just think they're more comfortable, and I don't have to worry about the bugs biting me through the material. So you could buy one of them. You can go on Amazon and look up hammock bug net, and you could buy them for around 20 bucks. I can't even, it cost me way more to make one of them. It cost me more than that for just the material. If you're new to hammocks, especially this kind of hammock, on our YouTube channel I have videos on how to select a site for a hammock, how to properly hang a hammock. I have a specific video on the cinch buckles this hammock has a cinch buckle suspension, so I have a specific video on how to use them, and some kind of do's and don'ts about, you know, making sure you don't damage the straps with them and everything. So if you're not familiar with cinch buckles, it's a good video to watch. So yeah, all those, how to properly set it up, how to select a site for one. It talks about the tree distance and all that kind of stuff, and how to properly hang it. Talks about getting the tension of the hammock right, the ridge line, and the angles of the straps and all that kind of stuff is covered in there. And then the video on cinch buckles goes into detail about using a cinch buckle suspension. Like I said, you just keep that stuff sack attached to the hammock there. And if you have any questions at all, you can get a hold of us, you know, about the hammock or any of this stuff, the hammock, tarp, whatever. You get a hold of us, mcnhammocks@yahoo.com. I'll put it in the description, and also our Facebook page. You can send us a message through there. We'll have cards at RockaDock. It's got our phone number and stuff on them. You can give us a call anytime. But that's it. It's a really nice, comfortable hammock. The Hyper D is a really soft material, and it's got a 300-pound weight limit. Straps have a 1,500-pound weight limit. All the cordage on there. This is 7/64 am steel, and that has a weight limit of 1,600 pounds, so it's a pretty strong hammock. Now I'm going to get the tarp set up. Well, let me show you the tarp real quick. So this is the tarp. I don't know if you can see. There you go. It weighs about, in the stuff sack, and it's got a kind of a temporary snake skin on it. It weighs about 14 ounces, and it squashes down. I like using bigger stuff sacks so they're not so hard to get hammocks and tarps and stuff in and out of them. But it'll squash down about half that size, or you can flatten it down to about half that size. So I'll show you setting this up the way we did it, and first I want to show you something about the snake skins in case you're not aware of them. Okay, so this is snake skin on my tarp, and it's really nice. You can set it in this. Let me show you this tube. Oh, my hammock is getting in the way. Come here. Okay. There, see how that's in that tube there above there? That's nice to keep it up out of the way if you don't want to use it for a little while you're out there. And also it makes setting it up and taking it down a lot easier, because you just draw this down, the hammock drops down, and then you can stake it out, and then when you get ready to put it away, just draw it back up like that, and then just put it back in the stuff sack after that. So snake skins are really nice if you're not aware of them. If anybody wants a snake skin for their tarp, you can just Google tarp snake skins, and there's several places that make them. Okay, so the reason I wanted to show you the snake skin is when I was building this, and especially having it out here to set it up and everything, I want to keep it off the ground. You know, anytime you got your tarp on the ground, of course you're getting it dirty, but you're also taking a chance on getting it snagged and getting a hole in it or whatever. So I definitely, because this isn't mine, wanted to keep it off the ground. So a little DIY trick for a hammock, for a tarp snake skin, and I did this with my very first tarp too, is you get one of those loofahs, like for taking a bath and everything. Get one of those loofahs, and then cut the cord down in there, and it'll all open up to this great big, over 12-foot long tube that works perfect for a snake skin, and it costs you $1 to buy a snake skin. I think they're $25, $30, somewhere in that price range. You have to check to verify, but they're not $1. But so I used a loofah for a snake skin for a while, until I just broke out and decided to go ahead and buy a real one. But they're nice, you know. They're simple. They're $1. The holes in them, like that snake skin I showed you, is mesh, but the mesh in the loofah, they're bigger holes, so they have a tendency to get snagged on stuff, so they don't last forever. But I mean, if you want a snake skin and don't want to spend that much money for it, you know, $1, once it tears up, just buy another one for $1. So anyway, this right now has a blue loofah snake skin on it, and I'm just going to leave it on here. That way I can set this hammock up and then show you, and then pack it away, and I don't have to set it on the ground and fold it up and everything. When a person wins this, you can either take that loofah, throw it away, you can use it, you can do whatever you want with it. You can wrap it around and make you a nice pretty little scarf around your neck or whatever. I don't care. So I made this, another thing, made this hammock, this tarp, because I didn't know who was going to win it. And it's hard to, I do so much custom work, so when I'm trying to make something that's just generic for anybody, that's kind of hard because I can't fine tune it, exactly the way that person uses their gear. So I made this whole tarp will set up with no knots. That way, if you're one of those people that are so bad at tying knots, you have to wear Crocs because you can't tie your shoes. I guess that's the only reason why somebody would wear Crocs. But my hammock's trying to tear up my camera. All right, let me reset up my camera and I'll get going with this. Dang. Of course, the wind. All right, so what I did, it's all done with no knots, and show you here on the end. This has a little titanium hook. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. A little bitty titanium hook. And all you do is wrap this around the tree and then clip it back to the line, and I'll show you here on that. And what I do is I pull out the cord. I got my stuff sack here. I go ahead and tighten down the drawstring again. That way my tarp's not trying to come out, and then I can untie this. I know somebody paying attention, I said no knots and then I said untie. I meant unwrap, for those of you that are really paying attention. And then you just take the hook and clip it onto the line, and it'll lock in place. And I was going to show you something, but I'll wait. So now I can take this, get it kind of about where I think it needs to be, right about there. Alright, now I'm going to open this up, pull this out. Okay, so camera's wrong, you couldn't see me down there, but so now, always man, always when it's windy, when I come out to film, me and the weatherman are going to have a talk. Okay, so this slide lock, and I'll show you a close-up view of it. I can take the tarp and get it centered over the hammock, just like that. All I gotta do is slide it and lock. I'll show you a close-up view of that. Okay, so I lowered the tarp down so I can see this, but this is just a little type of tensioning device, and all you gotta do, if you want to loosen it, pull this straight back and it'll loosen, and let go and it locks. And if you want to tighten it, take your free end and pull this back, and then pull on your free end and let go, and it locks wherever you want it at. So since like I said, I had to make this generic, since I didn't know who was going to win it. Maybe you don't like these slide locks and everything, but there's enough room behind this slide lock and a loop in this gross gain. There's enough there so you can put some zing-it or something through there to make a loop to use Prussics for your ridge line if you want a solid ridge line, or Nama claws or whatever. I left enough room there so you could do that, and then you could leave these on there or cut them off or whatever. But this is how it works. Just pull back, let it slide out to loosen, grab the free end, pull it back, and pull it up to tighten it. That's all you got to do. And the tie outs on this are the same way. Okay, I forgot to show it in the kit, but you have 4 stakes in there too for this tarp. They're just basic, shepherd hook stakes, bought at Walmart, nothing fancy. These 4 are mine. I didn't want to get yours dirty. You're still in the box, but these are mine. So now you got your tarp hung up, and you can tighten and loosen one side or the other to get the hammock, get the tarp centered over the hammock. And then all you got to do with the snake skins is just grab a hold of it, and pull it down, and it'll drop down. One of the nice things about the snake skins is, like on today, if it was really windy, I could leave it like right now where it is and just throw some stakes, just roughly stake that up just to keep the wind from taking it away. And then I can unroll the rest of it, and then stake it down and fine tune it later. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and undo the whole thing. And then, just like any other snake skin, you just leave it attached. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, it's right there on the end of it. You just leave it up there on the line, and then when you get ready, that way when you get ready to leave, you could just grab a hold of it and slide it back in there. So this hammock has, like I said, the same thing on that the Ridgeline's got, the same slide locks and everything. There's a loop in one end that's tied. Just take your stake, and then the same thing, grab your free end and then pull that slide lock back a little bit. That's all you got to do. I'll go over here and do the same thing. I got to move my camera anyway because my hammock's about ready to knock it over. Notice that it was wound, it wasn't tied. Like I said, no knots. Okay, so these, all this line, the ridge line, the gray ridge line, and these yellow things, they're all zinged. And they got about a 500-pound weight limit. I put yellow on here. I put yellow on the bottom to so it's easier so you don't trip over it. And it's got a slight cat cut, which helps it hold tighter in the wind and everything. I'm going to get this other side tarp down, stake down, and then I'll show you the rest of this. Okay, so got the tarp. There's the inside view, your hammock and everything. The ridge line is all seam sealed, and there's some little traces of baby powder. I had to get rid of the stickiness of the seam seal, sprinkle some baby powder on there, and you'll find some traces of it here and there. And everywhere there's a tie out. It's got Hyper D 300 for the reinforcement patches. They're nice, and that stuff is nice and strong. And got yellow guy lines on all your tie outs here to keep them. There's some animal running around right in there. I don't know what it is, so I'm gonna go this way. Because there might be a skunk or something in there, and that would suck. So I'm gonna show you this here. If it does, I know trying to make a no tarp, no knot. Sorry about that. No knot tarp. But if it's really windy, it's easy if you take this and just take a little loop, make a little loop around it, like a little slip knot. That'll keep it from sliding, because if it really does get windy and really start popping around, it could loosen this up some. So that's an option. Just a little slip knot there. And got reinforcements on all the, see if I can show you here. I'm back over here with that animal, that was smart. Okay, so got the patch here, got the reinforcement patch on it. Quite a bit of room on the inside here. Of course you can, spread it out, bring it in close or spread it out or whatever works for you. And then here's your loofah snake skin. So that's it. It's just a basic hex tarp. Like I said, I tried to build it so the person would have no knots. Wouldn't have to tie any knots if you don't know any fancy knots or anything. And if you need to, if it does get really windy, like I said, that little overhand knot I showed you, that'll fix it up, keep it from coming loose. This tarp, by the way, it's made out of sil poly. It's a really waterproof material, and this tarp, stuff sack, and snake skin weighed just a hair over 14 ounces, which isn't bad considering that it's pretty light. I mean, my Kelty tarp has less coverage than this because it's got a great big cat cut in it, and that thing weighs over 2 pounds. So for this tarp to only weigh 14 ounces, that's not bad at all. So the way I like to do these lines is get some slack in here. To keep it from tangling up, if you take the line and then weave it in like a figure 8 like that, and then when you get it wound up, just make a few wraps around and tuck it in the string there, and you're good to go. You can let it hang. Now you can, if you decide to use this snake skin or some other snake skin, you can just let the cords just hang loose and not even coil them up and fold them up in the snake skin, but I prefer to do it like that, just personal preference. Okay, so now I got all the lines guyed out, and wrapped up, and like I said, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then all you gotta do, if you use this snake skin or some other snake skin, and be careful, it sucks your beard in. And then show you a little trick while we're here, for anybody still watching. So if you take this, and then I do the same thing, I wind this around. Then you can kind of put it away like your hammock. You could just take it. I've got that line wrapped up now, so it won't just be flopping all over the place. I forgot the camera was angled. Sorry about that. But so what I did is when I got to the end of the tarp, I just closed up the buckle here on the stuff sack. That way it wouldn't come out while I'm winding this line. And same thing, just wrap this. This wrapping it in that figure 8, it really helps keep it from coming untangled. And this zing it line, if you're not familiar with it, it won't stretch like 550 cord and all that kind of stuff. It handles water and everything really well. So that's it. And then now your tarp. So I was able to set this thing up, you know, so you could use it and then take it down. Never had to put it on the ground, getting it dirty on the ground or getting it wet on the ground or anything like that. So I really do like snake skin. So whether you use the generic loofah one or put a real one in there, I for anybody with a tarp, if you haven't used them, I definitely suggest them. And then the hammock is the same way. I'll show you. Because you left your stuff sack attached, just go right along, stuff it all in. When you get to the end, I just draw the drawstring on the hammock stuff sack. I just draw that up and that can hang there, and then now I can finish taking my straps out and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, whoever wins all this stuff, hope you like it. Hope you have a lot of good nights in it. You camping, a lot of adventures, doing all this stuff. And like I said, hopefully you'll keep in the spirit. If there's something in here you don't want, hopefully you'll keep in the spirit that this was meant, and then just pass it on to somebody else so they can get out there. And none of this gear is top of the line stuff, you know, like that stove that came with that kit and everything. It might last you 100 years or it might last you 2 meals, I don't know, but unfortunately. But it's just a starter pack just to get somebody out there, and then they can improve their gear as they go. At least they won't have to fork out the money for everything all at once. So that's it. This is the first tarp that we made other than our own tarps as MCN hammocks. So that's something we're wanting to get into here soon. So if anybody has any questions, contact us. I'll put the links to our email and stuff in the description of the video. And good luck at the raffle. And we'll see you all down there. Anybody, if you're coming down there on a weekend, we won't see you because we're leaving Friday morning. But if you're there Monday through Friday morning, stop by and see us. I'll show you my new tarp that I built and new hammock that I built and everything, and go out and do some kayaking or whatever. Just stop by and see us.